We stand at a crossroads in history. The path ahead is filled with challenges, but we have the wisdom of our ancestors to guide us. It is our duty to create a future that is just and righteous. To do this, we need a leader, a Caesar, who can embody our ideals and guide us forward. But how much have we been influenced by the flawed thinking of the past? Are we not lost, adrift in a sea of darkness? It is time for us to take control, to ignite our sails and chart a new course. We must create our own destiny and bring forth a leader who can save us from the decline of civilization. Only then can we hope to emerge from the shadows and into the light. We are trapped in a cave, staring at shadows on the wall and accepting them as reality. We rely on stories and references from outside ourselves to understand the world, and our actions are guided by those in power. Mercy is rare and only granted by those who hold the pen. Much of what we consider our own thoughts and experiences are actually based on external references. We are at the mercy of the larger historical epoch and can only see what we are allowed to see. There is a difference between seeing and being shown, between being a wild mountain goat with the freedom to live and die by one's own struggles and being a sheep, controlled and mastered by a shepherd. Sheep never see the knife that takes their life, only the bloodied ground as they bleed out. We are constantly shown a curated version of reality through advertising, education, and media. This narrow perspective is imposed on us and we are expected to profess and uphold it. To question or defy this reality is seen as madness, even though it takes a strong mind to do so. This curated reality acts like a dam, blocking the flow of truth and requiring increasingly elaborate lies to maintain its power. Eventually, the truth becomes undeniable and the dam collapses, washing away the false narratives that had blinded us. The Enlightenment belief in linear progression towards a utopian society is flawed. Human history is cyclical, with conflicts arising from competition over limited resources. If we do not expand our resources, we will eventually face shortages and decline. Wisdom and experience are more valuable than knowledge and theory. The decline in innovation since the 19th century suggests that despite access to a wider pool of talent and the ability to bring people together, innovation is declining. The centralization of corporate bodies, lack of liberty for innovation, lack of urgency, and focus on short-term results may be contributing factors. The theory of linear history is flawed and fails to account for cyclical patterns in history. Welfare programs often lead to dependence and regression rather than improvement. Proponents of linear history fail to accept the flaws in their theories and try to shift the blame elsewhere instead of acknowledging their own errors. Western democracy is a coping mechanism for the boomer generation who have failed to understand their place in history. The system once provided great material wealth, but now fails to provide basic necessities like decent housing and food to a shrinking middle class. Boomers cling to democracy as if it is a god, but according to H. Hoppe, it has failed and those who cling to it are clinging to a rotting corpse. The solution must come from the millennial generation, as they stand to inherit the problems directly. The inability of millennials to afford homes is a major historical failure that will eventually lead to the end of civilization. Democratic norms must be overturned in order to save civilization and power must be decentralized and distributed. The focus must shift from democracy to self-determination and individual liberty. The boomer generation is incapable of saving us and must be replaced by a new leadership. The Western world is in danger of destruction, and it is time for decisive action to be taken. The current institutions are rotten and need to be replaced by someone with the will to lead and make sacrifices. The age of heroes is upon us, and it is up to us to author it and bring forth a great leader to guide us out of our decadent slumber. We must clear out the rotting filth and renew our civilization. It is time for a leader to rise up and take control, crushing all who stand in their way. It is time for a Caesar to emerge and bring about the necessary change. We do, or we die.